Hey, what's up? I'm Andre. Welcome to the show. All right, so today I want to talk to you guys about something that I say a lot. You may have heard me on Tej Dosa's podcast talk about this quite a lot. And this is the concept or the idiom or the popular phrase you've probably heard a million times before, and it's don't take things personally. Now, when you hear that, what comes to your mind? I mean, when I used to hear that, I wouldn't even think anything of it. I would just be like, what do they mean? Don't take things personally. I didn't understand what personal meant. So, in this episode, in this show, in this thing that we're about to do, in this vibe we're about to kick off, we're going to talk about what taking things personally actually means. And it's going to help you a lot. So, stay tuned. Let's get into it. This is if I had a YouTube video. Like if I had a real YouTube channel, I would have that cutscene right here, but I'm not going to do that to you guys. Okay, so the first thing that we have to understand is who are you as a person? And this gets super, super deep, but I'm going to say something right now that's going to really hit home what this phrase should really mean. And it's this: if you want to suffer, take everything personally. All right. If you want to suffer, take everything personally. Now, what does everything mean? Now, right now, the stock market's crashing, and a lot of people are taking their stock portfolios personally. All right, their Bitcoin's crashing. They're taking their Bitcoin wallets personally, right? They feel like something, why? Ow, this hurts, ow. And literally nothing is touching them. Literally, they're not in any danger, all right? Most of these dudes are in an office like I'm in right now. And so that's probably the first thing a lot of us entrepreneurs, a lot of us self-starters, a lot of us creatives take personally is our results. Now, if you run a business, I run a business, and a thing I would always take personally is how much I was making every month. And so every month I have this dashboard and it would reset to zero. And on that first day of the month, I would feel like a zero because I would just see that zero in there. I would feel anxious, and I had to really, and it took time. It honestly took time in learning these teachings that I'm going to be teaching you guys over the next couple years, I hope, or however long it takes you guys to learn this stuff. It took me some time to learn to not take my results personally. And so for you as an entrepreneur, in order for you to get into a clear mind state and in order to you to perform your best, because really learning all this stuff is about performing at your optimum level, right? And so if you're taking all these things personally, if you're taking how much money you're making personally, if you lose a deal personally, if you're taking gaining a deal personally, like, yeah, I did that, when I play basketball, I drive and I score, and I sometimes will flex. Okay, not sometimes, all the time. I will probably just give one of these Russell Westbrook type flexes, and I give myself space when I play sports to take things personally. And I think that's the only time. So other than that, you guys got to really get it into your mind state. And that's another thing I should point out is once you learn that everything is imaginary, especially this whole world, you can have a lot of fun and play with things and even play with words a lot. And so don't take words personally, right? That's another thing. So when we're talking about results, we're usually talking about taking numbers personally. But when we can even extrapolate that to words. These words, I don't want to say are meaningless. I know you may have heard me on the pod, on Tej's pod, say that they're meaningless. What I really should have said is that they're non-meaning. Now, what that means is that they don't mean anything and they don't mean anything. All right. So you see the difference. So if you say words are meaningless, they're here. And if you say words are meaningful, they're here. But really, words are right here, right in the center. They're non-meaning, right? Meaning we prescribe meaning to words and numbers and to any human abstraction. So a lot of people get into these wars and arguments and debates, and you can see it on Twitter, not on money Twitter, but on like the regular Twitter, on the news, in any argument, even if you're having an argument with your girlfriend or a friend, I guarantee you 99.9% of the time it's over the definition of a word. And that person will have a completely different definition than you, and you'll have a completely different definition. So, and you'll notice you'll go back and forth, and then it's only when you guys have a similar definition or you come to agreement on the definition of the words you're using, then the argument will get resolved, or it won't. You guys will just be like, I define it this way, you define it that way. That's how it is. And then that's why they say agree to disagree, right? But the problem is you really shouldn't get so angry over words, because again, words are here in the center. Words exist in this human abstraction, right? They are not part of reality, right? So when we say don't take things personally, when I say if you want to suffer, take everything personally, what we're saying is the whole human ideas, the whole human world, the whole human realm, that realm that exists on top of everything is actually the nonsense realm, or is actually the garbage realm, is actually the imaginary realm. So when we're trying to figure out who we really are, we need to go a little deeper. And so I'm not going to talk about that right now in this video, but for now, I want you guys to become more aware of what you're taking personally and become more aware of what gets you angry. It could be someone speeding, or someone tailgating you, or someone cutting in front of you in line. I want you to, for the next week, I want you guys to look at what you're taking personally in your life and why. All right, that's it for this episode. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.